Howdy! This is video 23 of 30 in 30 days. I wrote this last night as I got a phone alert at 10:25 saying there was a curfew from 10 until 6 this morning. Um, and I've been hoping that Miami wouldn't get caught up in what was going on in some other major cities, meaning violent protests. And I don't know how bad it is. Of course, now I know how bad it was. It's not as bad as I feared, fortunately, but last night I couldn't get much information. I turned on AM News and they told me that there were some confrontations and tear gas and possibly concussion grenades. They didn't know exactly what was going on, so I just turned it on to FM and listened to some jazz, wrote this, and prepared for today. One thing I think is intriguing, I will put a link below. This is messed up, but it's as I wrote, one thing I think is intriguing and in a devious and Machiavellian way is a video of a white guy with a hammer, a coat and umbrella. I believe the coat was a hoodie, like a raincoat or even a winter coat. Just watch it, you'll see. But he's got a hammer and he's breaking windows in an auto zone there in Minneapolis. And this is supposedly before the looting started. The guy who's videoing this, there is no chaos going on around him except for this guy smashing windows. But it was before the looting started. As you'll see in the video, after he smashes the window and he starts to walk away because a bunch of people start to confront him. Hey, what are you doing? And he starts to walk away, and there's a door, like a. I'm sorry, I didn't rehearse this well, and it's hard to think. There's a door like the stockroom door in the back, and it says free stuff here, or something along those lines. It's got that spray painted on there. Somebody in one of the things I read about this said he spray painted that on there, then started breaking windows. This is all circumstantial evidence, and part of that is that he's a St. Paul cop. Supposedly, and I saw the screenshot, and this could all just be made up, but it was a screenshot of a text between his ex-wife and whomever she was speaking with or texting with, and she wrote down, "That's my mask, those are my gloves." Yeah, that's him, all right. He's crazy enough. Something along those lines. It's all on the internet. I'm not even going to say his name because I don't know what's going on. The only thing that I'm sure of is in this video, which appears to be before the craziness started, this guy is definitely smashing windows. He definitely is not part of the protest. And this is pretty screwed up, but you'll see the video, and you just do a little research, and all this other stuff will pop up. But there's as I wrote, allow me to continue. There's actually a name attached to him, supposedly by his ex-wife, but St. Paul police say it isn't him and gave him an alibi. As he's wearing the mask, it's impossible to adequately identify him with the photo provided. There's another link out there floating on the internet. There's the photo of him next to the masked man, and I don't even know if that's the photo of a St. Paul cop. That could be a photo of anybody, and it could be the man in the mask, and it could not be. So, getting on the internet and trying to figure anything out tends to, in a situation like this anyways, become more confusing than it is enlightening. The thing I know is that guy was there smashing windows. He did not belong there. he's either a rogue element or he's working with somebody else. But this was obviously, let me say this was seemingly to create havoc, incite a riot and looting, and make the people who are there peacefully protesting look bad. Who knows? You know, the guy could have got a bad deal at AutoZone and is just using this opportunity to take out his frustration. Um, he could have heard on some alt-right radio program that AutoZone store is running a pedophile sex ring, and he wanted to go there and smash the windows to let the children out. I mean, who knows what his motivation is? But this is very, very suspect. Allow me to continue. So as I wrote, there is a striking similarity in the portion of face that can be seen, that's the photo with the mask, and the man without the mask, who supposedly is a St. Paul cop. I don't know if the masked man is the photograph also, and I don't know if the photograph is a St. Paul cop. We need to figure this out, though. I mean, let me just put it this way. If there was video of a black dude in that same getup smashing windows in a Minneapolis police station, you could be sure they would be turning over every stone to find out who that was. If St. Paul is not trying to figure out who this is, given one of their officers has been fingered, why not? Okay, this seems a clear-cut example of a false flag operation, probably from someone oriented right of center. Of course, I'm speculating here, but I may be reading this totally wrong, so watch it and judge for yourself. At the very least, he's not there to peacefully protest for justice or even to loot, but to start trouble. And as trouble began, complete with looting, he may have single-handedly started it. There may have been vandalism and looting anyway, but his actions all but ensured it. I think it would behoove St. Paul to provide multiple forms of evidence to corroborate the alibi of the officer, including all the time-stamped surveillance photos from the multiple cameras we know they must have in the city. And let's face it, if they were looking for a suspect in some kind of horrid or any kind of serious crime, you know they would go right to the cameras and they would be tracking that person. That's how they do it nowadays. You know, a city like St. Paul, there's got to be cameras, probably just about one on every single corner. If that's the case, and if this officer was in St. Paul, acting as a cop, doing his duty, it should be easy to prove. Between a divisive press, an us and them mentality between the two parties, and the cities and government employees, between a divisive press and us and them mentality between the two parties, and the citizens and government employees, including cops, and the constant escalation of tools and tactics cops deploy, there is an ever-increasing lack of trust among we the people and our imperfect union. It sounded very cool and poetic last night, kind of clumsy now, but this is where we're at. We're either trying to resolve this to the best it can be, given past circumstances that can't be undone, or we're trying to make it worse. And by we, I don't mean everybody. I mean we. Some are trying to make it better. Some are trying to make it worse. The ones who are trying to make it better, they need to prevail. There's a lot going on there are always going to be unanswered questions, and I'm not talking about the knee on the neck and what happened there. I'm talking about everything that's happening now and since. But it's just loopy, and this situation is this situation is going to be a view into what the future is like, and how we handle this situation is going to be a view into how we deal with things in the future. We need to come to some kind of an agreement as to what's going down and how to fix it, or this could really unravel and just continue to get worse. I thank you for watching. That's all.